Hello, it's me again, called Pixie. Basically, I had a very strange experience last night. I mean, usually my dreams are quite vivid anyway. A long time ago, I was a bit of an idiot and I drank a load of absinthe. I probably drank about 2 pints or something. Anyway, I survived, even though my body was absolutely wrecked. A very strange experience. Ended up going out that night. I thought, well, if I down this I'll be like sort of in the party mood. I don't really feel like it, and I thought, well, this stuff will be really sort of good stuff, and so I drank loads of it in a short period of time, and I thought, well, I'm okay. So I went out. To a restaurant, and then I started noticing some weird stuff going on. Like, so I also mentioned, my brother, I can't feel my lips, and parts of my body are going numb. And I was walking to the toilet, and it was like my legs are starting to go a bit weird. So yeah, I ended up going in some sort of club, and I was completely, it quickly overcome my body, and I ended up going to the toilet, being ill, and sleeping on the floor for about 3 hours. Nobody knew where I was. I was in some disabled toilet, and I just locked it and just barricaded myself in the toilet, or wherever. I don't know. I didn't even know where I was. You know, what's happening? So yeah, so it went on a strange experience that night. I was all over the place. Eventually I got back about 4 AM. I ended up going on some tour of where I live in Reading, and I also visited some security guard who was covering my office in an old job I used to do. So I won't go into too much detail, just get fired by saying that. So yeah, anyway, the weird thing is though, when I got back, is I crashed on the sofa, because at the time I just sort of getting out of divorce and all sorts of things. So I was sort of son of mum's. So I crashed anyway. I went to sleep, and I had some mental, really vivid dream. It was like so bizarre, you know. It's whatever. I mean, I don't have much drug experience because I have no interest in it. I got the best drug in the world. It's in my brain. So it was just a very surreal experience, and it was for 5 days. 5 days I had vivid dreams. It was absolutely amazing. Now, the last dream I had was one of the most powerfulest dreams I've ever had. Basically, I saw myself, whether I was a wolf or not, I don't know. There's definitely a wolf there, and it was leading me through a pine forest, and it led me out. So it obviously meant some meaning to it, like that you're coming to the end of this. But I sensed it was something quite spiritual about this wolf, because it was also it's very vivid anyway. And why would I dream about a wolf and a pine forest? And have no knowledge of this area, and it didn't look like anything I'd come across. There was nothing in the day that I could relate to it. It was just sort of so random experience. So that was kind of a vivid dream, and I kind of thinking with the Ormus and things like the monatomic gold is that I could re-experience some of this stuff, and even possibly re-meet this wolf. That would be really interesting, because I sense it's kind of like a spirit guide or something spiritual that's in there, something that's a part of me. So I've been taking sort of the Ormus. I've been doing it for like a week, and at first, and also it's like, will this stuff come? Because I was like, it should have come ages ago. So eventually it come through, and I didn't want it where on my address because I live with a flat. So I thought, well, if I can't get it through the mailbox, I'm leaving something that's worth about 20-30 quid on the floor. Somebody else will take that, and then some idiot will probably eat the lot, and I'll probably get done for trying to kill them or something stupid like that. Just because of the way the mentality of some of the people that live in my area would probably think, what's this? Something give you a high, and then they just take the lot, and then just have to give you a head rush, and then you messed up. So basically, eventually the stuff came. So monatomic gold came, and that was the first thing I tested it. And I mentioned in another video, I brushed my teeth because I didn't thought, well, I don't want to knock it down, drink it with water, and it just disappear, flushed out my system, and it's because it's not. It's a metal that your body can absorb, but it's not necessarily something it processes on a daily basis. So it's a mineral. So your body may react slightly different with the way it processes it. You want it to be absorbed into your body without any resistance. But if you're taking with lots of acid, say you're very, very hungry and you've got like your acid levels are up, you chuck it into that fiery pit, it might just fly straight through you, because your body's saying, actually I want something else completely different. I don't want this stuff that's acting like it's radioactive inside your stomach. So it might just boot it out, and also there's a natural balance between alkaline and acid, and you want to get that quite right. Usually when you get it right, you usually cheese flowing and you've got lots of energy and all sorts. You're perfect basically. But when it's out of sync, you're not. So you might come across some feeling sick and so on. So these are just natural occurrences. So yeah, so that's something there. Anyway, so I started taking some Ormus, and I thought, well, because I basically got that from eBay, and I thought, bloody hell, it hasn't turned up. This place ripped me off or something. So eventually it turned up, and so I thought, oh, I'd take them both. So back with the monatomic gold, I brushed my teeth and I applied it to my gums because I knew my nerves were sensitive, and also your nerves are linked straight to your brain. So I thought, well, it's going to go straight into the body that way, and it's going to link up to my nervous system straight away. So that's quite a clever way of doing it. And also, I thought, well, actually, I could do with my teeth getting regenerated anyway. So I thought, well, if we get that stuff into there, it'll heal my teeth, health benefits, and it will be absorbed into my nervous system, and it's going to straight to my skeleton and all sorts of things. And also, you've got your bone marrow, you've got a certain amount of bone marrow in all your bones, but it's definitely in your teeth as well. So there's some other regenerative abilities associated with your bones. So so I put the monatomic gold. I noticed the effects. The effects was that I have sometimes I have tinnitus that comes on, and it's kind of a guide for the level of chi and other things going on. I definitely know that the planet's knocking out some sound. I definitely know that the sun's knocking out things like that, and other stuff like the moon, and also there's this stuff out in the universe that's going on, and it's generating a certain amount of hertz. I'm also aware that through the Illuminati, they ended up whacking up a signal that to try to block interference from the planet. Which, to be honest, I do not know their game. It's just ridiculously stupid. They want to be gods. Well, they would be if they engaged with whatever's out there, the ultimate divine, the creator. You would actually manifest yourself at that level. If they actually did it, rather than try to work against it, they'd get there a lot bloody quicker. So hopefully they get it through their brain. Basically, it's just some occult shit that's going on in their brain. They picked up stuff from the past, they've rubbished it, and then they've also practiced it. So it's very weird, But anyway, that's probably another video. We'll talk about the Illuminati a bit later on. So I've had the monatomic gold. It goes into your system. I've done that. I've noticed like I say, with the tinnitus, you get like a frequency. It's quite high, quite a high frequency. It's kind of like when sometimes when I was younger, you could tell when the TV was on. You could tell even because you could sense the high pitched sound, but the hertz coming from the TV, you can sort of sense that, and then you think, oh, the TV's on, so you don't know, and you find out it is on. But that's because basically you can hear it. You can hear it at this high pitch frequency, which is sort of like a white noise. So yeah, that changed, and also I sensed the change of chemistry in my brain as well. So that's a different balance of the hemispheres. You definitely can sense it. It's like, whoa, it's like when you get a bit of a head cold. I sensed it at first, and I could sense like I was relaxing or different sorts of feelings were coming on, and it felt quite strange, and it was difficult to explain to anyone unless basically you're aware of your own body, but you definitely could sense your mind state is changing. And like I mentioned with the tinnitus goes straight out the window, it goes right down, you can't hear it, and it just went off. So basically I just put a reset switch on myself. So yeah, and then I didn't really notice any major effects with that, apart from that. And I thought, oh well, maybe some of what people say about it is not. I mean, basically, it's a part of a process, part of alchemy of your body, that you would use things that would enhance your mind. No different than taking some sort of supplements, whether you take Omega or whether you're taking krill oil or something like that. I mean, these all play a part in helping to keep yourself healthy. But on its own, all it's done is it's basically given my body something, and it's gone into some sort of reboot mode, and it's changed the activity in my brain, so it's adapted to it. So we've the Ormus come through, and I thought, oh, what's this going to be like? And I thought, okay, let's try just a little bit, because if you explain to anyone, they think you're crazy, that why you bought these weird chemicals. You don't know anything about it, even though you've researched it for hours and hours and hours on end, and everybody else has had it. You'll often get people that have a lot of heavy criticism. Just have to ignore them, or you just don't tell them cool. That's probably the easiest way in life. Is that you play the part, but your actual real person, only your best friends might know. There's even probably parts of you won't even share with them, because if they're not on the page, there's no point giving them the information, is there? So I started taking the Ormus. I took a little teaspoon of it, I didn't really feel any big effects there, but last night did the same process. I noticed on scrub my teeth. I thought, oh, well, it's not bleeding, and actually it was a lot harder, and it didn't become sensitive. So I'm thinking, well, actually, there's something must be going on here, because my teeth are stronger than they were before, and my gums are better, because the last thing I want to do is go to a dentist, because all they want to do is drill the shit out of my teeth, and ultimately they want me to have fillings and other things. They did do something like a scale removal or whatever they done there, but actually it's made it worse, because it just come back. It just means you've got to brush the inside of your mouth with your teeth, and also the outside, and the roots everywhere else. You've got to go do the works like crazy, because there's places that they've actually drilled in. They're probably aware that it's going to cause a problem. It's a bit like in the past where they use the old tool with a metal hook, and then they would stick that in your enamel, and they push down and say, oh yeah, it's a bit soft, this is a bit soft, but there's actually fuck all that's wrong with your teeth. What they've done is they stuck a frigging hole in it, so that the actual can get the root infected, and then you get your teeth knackered, basically. I do not know why people are like that, are so stupid. I mean, why would they want to do that to people, is actually give them fucking fillings? It just doesn't make sense. They're very keen on that, but there's another story about that, but I won't bother to go that. A bodge job that's on my teeth in the past, but anyway. Yeah, back to the Ormus. So basically the roots of the teeth are better, and I noticed that there's an improvement with that. That was with the monotonic gold. I've had a slight Ormus. The Ormus was great. At first it's like, oh, it's all salty, and what the hell's this? Because of the shock. And then it congeals in your mouth. So I'm thinking, this is, there's a phrase on it using the semen of the gods. I can probably see where they come up with that. Because when the thing is, you take something and the texture change in your mouth, it's like, oh, what's this, like egg white or something? What have I had? So I had a little teaspoon. I didn't really feel any major effects. Similar sort of stuff going on in the mind, sense of the body, and then the energy levels go up later on. So they're probably not as high as I was taking it without the Ormus, but it varies. Anyway, last night I had a tablespoon of this stuff, and I had my monotonic gold, brushed my teeth, all this sort of thing, because I don't want to put it in your mouth and it be flushed out with something else, or there's a barrier or anything that's preventing it. The other thing is, you wouldn't want like bacteria in your mouth to benefit from it, because the last thing you would do is you put something in it that's savagely attacking you. So yeah, but I had one of the most interesting dreams ever. Basically, it was very bizarre. At the end of it, I've never experienced this before. I mean, we're going to talk about aliens. We talk about these things that don't make sense. I've probably got to put that into I'll put it into another video. But anyway, I've touched upon certain points. But yeah, the other thing being in a party attract attention. People are sort of wondering, what's he doing? Who's he talking to? Is he video calling? And then they start nosing. I think, well, I don't really want them to know everything I talk about. I don't really give a shit on YouTube, but that's why I come here. I thought, well, it's better than chatting to your neighbours. So yeah, next part, I'll just mention what happened and the dream and everything else. Okay, all right then. Catch you later.